Good evening and welcome to the evening news. I am Kayode Adebayo. The Independent National Electoral Commission has appealed the judgment granting the request of two plaintiffs to use their temporary voter cards. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekami, in a statement expressed the intention of the Commission to approach the appellate court. The Independent National Electoral Commission has been served a copy of the judgment delivered by the Federal High Court, Abuja Division, which ordered it to allow two plaintiffs to vote with their temporary voter cards. Justice Obiora Ogwatu had given the order allowing the use of the TVCs while delivering judgment in a suit filed by two concerned Nigerians seeking the use of the TVCs in the general elections in the absence of PVCs. Justice Ogwatu said the order was made on the grounds that the plaintiffs were duly registered and captured in the INEX database. The court, however, added that it was unable to grant Prayer 3, which was to allow every eligible voter with a TVC to vote because the suit was not filed in a representative capacity. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said the allegation that he rigged the presidential election could lead to a lawsuit. The electoral chief issued a reply to the People's Democratic Party, PDP, after the leadership asked him to resign. A statement by Yakubu's press secretary, Rotimi Oyekami, said the call was misplaced and wondered why the party did not give evidence of how Yakubu sabotaged the uploading and transmission of results from polling units. While challenging the party to prove its claims in court, the spokesperson maintained that the INEC does not rig elections, stressing that the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, has ensured the integrity of the electoral process. Politicians have been advised to desist from actions that are capable of dragging the country into anarchy. A traditional ruler in Imo State, Eze Oliver Ohanwi, gave the advice amidst controversies trailing the presidential and National Assembly elections. He advised politicians who lost their deficit at the polls to shun acts capable of truncating the country's democracy. The monarch said that such politicians should rather seek redress in a court of competent jurisdiction to strengthen the nation's fledgling democracy. He urged critical stakeholders in the country to inject justice, sanity, equity, and fairness in the nation's electoral system. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has reiterated his administration's commitment to ensuring proper establishment of the University of Ilesa, as promised during his electioneering campaign of 2018, where he declared his intention to upgrade the SY College of Education to a modern first-class university. The spokesperson to the governor, Malam Rashid Olawale, made this known in a statement made available to journalists in Osogbo. According to the statement, Governor Adeleke made the declaration while on an assessment tour of the university and to also intimate Ijesha people on his wider plans for the area and the people. It added that Governor Adeleke noted that the last administration of Mr. Degbu Igawitola upgraded the then College of Education at its tail end, while describing it as a political project aimed at deceiving the people of Ijesha land after ignoring it for 3 years. Governor Adeleke also informed the people of Ijesha land about the Ilesha Water Project and the effect of illegal mining activities under the previous administration in relation to water pollution, environmental degradation, income leakage, among others. Some state governments are planning to initiate contempt proceedings against the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, over their refusal to implement the Supreme Court judgment on the Naira redesign policy of the federal government. Governors Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, Yahya Bello of Kogi State, and Bello Matawale of Zamfara State, and Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, among others, had condemned the silence of the President and Emefiele on the judgment. It was gathered that the federal government was served with the enrolled order and certified true copy of last week's Supreme Court judgment, which also ordered that the old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes should be in circulation alongside the new notes till December 31st this year. Report noted that the non-service of the enrolled order and the certified true copy of the judgment was responsible for the failure of the federal government to direct Emefiele to roll out the old notes already withdrawn from circulation. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyèbánjí has appealed to residents to continue to accept the old and new notes in line with the ruling of the Supreme Court, which extended the validity of the old Naira notes till December 31st this year. The Supreme Court, in its ruling, extended the validity date for the old Naira notes in a case instituted by some states against the federal government, with Ekiti State one of them. Oyèbánjí, who noted complaints by residents that many businesses concerns in the state refused to accept the old notes as means of transaction, said it becomes unlawful for any business owner or service provider to reject them. The governor, in a statement by his special advisor on media, Yinka Oyebode, urged Ekiti people to accept the old notes till the December deadline and stay clear of actions that could create hardship for one another. He appealed to market women, artisans, transporters, filling stations, supermarket owners, school proprietors, and service providers to remain law-abiding and accept the old Naira notes. Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has threatened to arrest and prosecute those rejecting the old Naira notes. This is contained in the statement issued by the State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Mr. Kingsley Fanwo, in Lokoja. The Supreme Court had ruled that the old Naira notes of 1,500 and 200 Naira notes should continue as legal tender alongside the new notes in all transactions until December 2023. The governor described as unacceptable and demeaning the continuous rejection of the old Naira notes in spite of the Supreme Court ruling. He said his administration will not stand and watch some persons and businesses continue to reject the use of old Naira notes even after the court judgment validating their use. According to him, rejecting the old Naira notes is a clear disobedience of the Supreme Court ruling, which shall be vehemently resisted. He implored residents of Kogi to endeavor to accept the old notes since the commercial banks have started issuing them for day-to-day business transactions. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Akwa Ibom State said it has seized 150 smuggled drums of petrol. MSC DC Commandant in Akwa Ibom, Mr. Yusuf Imam, disclosed this while briefing newsmen in Uyo. Imam said the Marine unit of the command acted on intelligence and arrested the suspect on the high seas as they conveyed the products in a wooden boat en route to Cameroon. The commandant warned that the corps will not tolerate crime on its waterways and will meet all acts of economic sabotage and vandalism in the state with the full weight of the law. He advised persons engaged in acts of economic sabotage in the area to desist forthwith and seek meaningful ventures to engage in, adding that the suspect will be charged to court as soon as investigation was completed. And now to sports. Nigeria's under-20 national team, the Flying Eagles, have extended their bronze medals, finishing in the Africa Under-20 Nations Cup to number 4, following their 4-0 victory over the Junior Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. No team has won the third-place match of the Africa Under-20 Nations Cup more than the Flying Eagles. The Nigerian had triumphed in 1995, 2005, and 2013, while they lost only one of the third-place match in 2019 when they suffered defeat to South Africa. The second half resumed on a brighter note for the Flying Eagles, with Ahmed Abdullahi and Jude Sunday increasing the goals tally to 3, while Abdullahi scored in the 46th minute. Sunday struck 2 minutes later to take the game beyond the North Africans. Another goal by Jude Sunday in the 94th minute saw the Issa Ladamboso-led Flying Eagles giving a parting gift of golden bronze to President Muhammadu Buhari, who will vacate office in May. The Flying Eagles had suffered a lone goal defeat to the Gambia's Young Scorpions in their semi-finals encounter. The defeat notwithstanding, the Flying Eagles qualified for the World Cup, which we hold in Indonesia. And now to the foreign scene. A man who shot dead 7 people in Germany was visited by police last month after a tip-off raised concern about his mental health. Reports said the 35-year-old suspect, named only as Philip, cooperated with officers and there were not enough grounds to take away his gun at the time because he had a license to own the weapon for sporting purposes. However, the Interior Minister said the country is preparing a new law involving tighter curbs on gun ownership. 7 people, including an unborn baby, were killed in the attack, which unfolded at a Jehovah's Witness meeting hall in the city. 8 people were injured, including a woman who was 7 months pregnant. Meanwhile, Chancellor Olaf Scholz said the death toll could rise. And that was the evening news on Osbc TV. Please join us at 7 for major reports. Good evening.